I think that combining a professional invitational with the collegiate Final Four gives a lot more eyeballs to these college students who are widely unknown. So I think it's fantastic.
Ivy Law has done a really good job in promoting like college teams and stuff, and I think that the fact that they managed to intermix like the pro matches, like Curse vs. Fear, like CLGU versus Reddit Nation. With like the matches between like UCSD, UC Irvine, University of Texas, and of course Georgia Tech. I think that's really cool because like now people who don't even know like these scenes existed are like exposed to it, and like all these like the 50,000 people that were watching the CLGU versus Orbit game, they now saw the college matches and they're aware of the scene.
The integration of the pro and the Ivy Law games is really important because what you do is you get the players that are going to be pro in the next year or two after they graduate from college, and you're seeing them now, so you're building the story all the way through.
I like the fact that they showed the college games right after the professional games. That made it so that the spectators would sit by and watch all those games, and I actually watched some of them as well, and I saw some really talented players, and I think giving them a little bit of exposure, which they otherwise wouldn't get, is a really good idea.
So I think the college scene is super important to the growth of League of Legends because, number one, it's the core demographic. A majority of our players are college age, and some of the most talented players are full-time students as well. So to be able to have them highlight their talent while still being able to maintain an impressive GPA and get a bachelor's, that's something that should be celebrated.
I just think that promoting the college scene is really important because like most of the League of Legends players in the world are like college age, 20, 25, 30, and just getting all like the fact that we're catering to that audience and we're like showing them that they can play like almost competitively too is really good because if you compare like our scene, like the pro scene, the season 3 circuit and stuff to like the NFL and stuff, a lot of people watch those games, but then like if you look at like college football, college like basketball and stuff, people watch those in droves, they support those teams in droves, and like I think that if in one day, if we can reach that sort of thing, that sort of support with esports, then we've come a long way. And this is like one of the first steps to achieving that.
It's really important that the college students get a lot of recognition moving into Season 3 because these are the guys that are going to be developing the community clubs around watching Season 3. So if you can get them out there, they're kind of the luminaries for their local communities that will then just continue to grow everything.
I went to college myself before I went for a professional gaming career. And I know a couple other players that are in college, and obviously not everyone gets the chance to go pro, but if this is definitely a good way for good players to promote themselves if they're coming from college. So yeah.
I gotta say, Jewel Bagel, the top laner from Georgia Tech, he was instrumental in their upset. That he played out of his mind, especially on that Olaf. Chris Santos as well, the mid laner for Georgia Tech, played extremely well. And on UCSD's side, I think Heartbeat, even though he didn't do as well as he wanted to in Game 3, he still made some pretty impressive plays. And So Korean's Jax in Game 1 was out of this world.
One of the greatest stories about collegiate sports in general is the level of upsets that come out. And just watching Georgia Tech take down UCSD, the expected team to win was just really cool, and I want to see how they do tomorrow in the finals.
I know on UCSD, Heartbeat, he's a good friend of mine. We've duo queued before, and he's a solid player. Arknight, he was actually on LGN, so he's like a former pro player that's now repping his school, which I think is really cool, and they're both solid players. And of course, everyone who's competing at this level is really good, so they're repping their universities.